Look, I don't know how all this works. We have very little brains in terms of understanding God and the spiritual war, but just we may grasp a little bit of it. So I think that the more sin, the more gas goes into the devil's gas tank, and the more souls we lose. I talked to some priests and pastors and theologians, and they explained some stuff to me. So we're in such an evil time right now, and some say that it's the most evil generation, even worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think that the devil's gas tank, it's on some levels what's happening is the souls he's grabbing, and more people are dying in the womb than outside of the womb. So this child sacrifice that's going on, and you cover this very powerfully in your book on abortion. There's something with this issue. There's something with this mass murder, this Holocaust happening to little unborn babies, that's empowering the devil and leading to this horror show that we're facing, right?
Yeah, well, even if you look at Dietrich Bonhoeffer, an incredible man of God, he was a warrior for truth, fighting back against the Nazis in Nazi Germany. He shares several times in his books about the church in Nazi Germany and how oftentimes they'd be placed beside railroad tracks, railways, and they'd hear the train come by every Sunday, and they'd hear the cries, they'd hear the pleas, the calls for help from the Jewish people in the train carts. And their way to drown out the sounds, they said, was just to sing louder. And unfortunately, I believe that's the reality of many American churches today, where they're placed within mile radius, just a few miles, a few blocks away from Planned Parenthood, from these death clinics, as I call them, and yet never dare bring up the issue of abortion. They'll mention the name of Dietrich Bonhoeffer and how courageous and amazing that man is, but then they never even talk about the Holocaust that's happening to the unborn children, the babies in the womb in our world today. And to me, it's like it's honestly a slap in the face to Dietrich Bonhoeffer if you're going to sit there in your church and you're going to talk about this man and of him being heroic and courageous, and you're just, I mean, imagine if Dietrich Bonhoeffer walked in that church today. I think he'd call them cowards. I really think he would, because to sit there to know that evil is happening. I mean, he said it is, silence in the face of evil is evil itself. So for us to know what is wrong, to know that evil is happening in our country, to sit back, watch it happen, and do nothing is frankly the most egregious thing that we could possibly do. And it's, in my book, it's like, how did we get to the point where we have murdered millions, hundreds of millions of babies? Because this isn't just America. This isn't just an American issue. This is a global issue. We have murdered hundreds of millions of babies in their mother's womb in the name of a woman's right to choose. I mean, how sick are we as a world? Like, how evil have we become? We literally believe that it's a woman's right to choose to go to a doctor, to take a pill, to suffocate her child until it dies, or to have it surgically removed limb by limb, and they crush the baby's skull and then suck it out with a vacuum that's 10 to 20 times more powerful than your household vacuum cleaner, all in the name of a woman's right to choose. I mean, how have we gotten to a point where this is happening, right?
Mm.
So, I mean, we dissect that all in the book, Last Chance to Save Our Republic. I mean, this is the harsh truth. I mean, I don't say these things lightly, because we have beat around the bush for far too long in America. I mean, we have way too many politicians, way too many pastors, leaders that want to, kind of just walk on eggshells around these terms. No, we've got to speak the truth, and we've got to speak it boldly, and we've got to get back to radical language. I mean, even our founding fathers talked about, give me liberty or give me death. I mean, this is freedom or tyranny that we're talking about.